Forest Graduate School. Let me introduce today's speaker, Dr. Sailesh Mehta, or we call him Dr. Sailesh Anandji. He's a practicing ophthalmologist who owns a hospital in Vadodara, India. From his childhood, he was curious about deeper truths of life. He came in touch with self-realized holistic science, Sri M. Patel, and through his grace, Dr. Mehta attained self-realization in 1977. Dr. Mehta is a celibate and is deeply experienced in the field of holistic inner science. He devotes his life in studying, researching, and spreading the message of holistic inner science. In his quest to spread the message of holistic science, he has traveled to countries such as USA, UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. His speeches on holistic science have been well received at national and international conferences. He is the author of several books which include Introduction to Holistic Science and Integral Living and Science of Liberation. Welcome, Sailesh Anandji.
My heartfelt greetings to all of you across the world on this Holistic Inner Science discussion forum, and I await your further proceedings.
Sure. So last time, Sailesh Anandji, we talked about happiness in general. Today, we're going to explore happiness further and talk about different aspects of happiness, starting from the very gross level to a little bit more subtle level. So if we can get started, I think most people these days are concerned about outer happiness. So maybe we can start with that. That's perhaps is the more like a grosser level of happiness, and then if we can take us from that level to more subtler level of happiness.
Sure. So, as we see, each one of us, every human being, or why limited to every human being, all living creatures are in search of happiness, and nobody likes unhappiness. That's the eternal fundamental truth. Now, we try to derive happiness from the level our beliefs, our frame of mind, whatever you say, our opinions, they are designed or they have been evolved. So, as you are rightly saying, most of the people in the present scenario or in the present world, they are trying to seek or find happiness from the outer resources and at the level of five senses. I feel that if I have maybe millions or billions of dollars or whatever my target is in the bank, once it happens, I'm happy. I feel that once I become the manager in the company, I'll become happy. I feel that my son and my daughter, once they are graduated, highly qualified, I'll be happy. Once they do that, I feel that once they get a good partner, I'll be happy. Once they do that, I feel that once I become a good grandfather or good grandmother. So the one way is it's a race, unending race which is going. And I always have that carrot distance from me, and that carrot keeps on driving me in a humorous way. If we ourselves put a carrot of belongings or carrot of some material targets ahead of us, nothing wrong about that, but then we do need to research about that. So the wise people say two things, that why in trying to achieve those targets and deceiving our mind and ourselves that once I achieve, I'll be happy. And by the time I reach there again, once I achieve something further, I'll be happy. So it's always a trying to look into the future. And wise people say, enjoy the present moment. One who cannot live in the present moment can never be happy. So happiness is not something to be achieved. It is a way of living. I have to live in the present moment. So holistic science says that see both the things, what is making you unhappy, what's making you stressful, what is making you stretch beyond your limits so that you become really fatigued or unhappy, and how one can have happiness. So we'll examine some few small areas which are pertaining to our life and living, which affect us the most. And at the pivot, at the center, is the incorrect understanding about anything or everything. leads to unhappiness, unhappiness, and unhappiness. The correct understanding will lead to happiness, happiness, and happiness. In the lighter terms, if there is a darkness, there are going to be a lot of stumblings. If there is even a small light, there will be no stumblings. In still another way, if I am doing some experiment of the science, or if I am doing some task or some job, if my knowledge about that task or job is correct, effortlessly I'll have a desirable results. But if my knowledge is incorrect, if my fundamentals are incorrect, no matter how hard I try, it will not yield desirable results, and in fact it will lead to more puzzles and some issues. So the fundamental is we need to try to have the correct understanding, right beliefs or right visions about each and everything. So holistic inner science has this in center, that observe, examine, and try to understand each area, that what's the correct understanding. Now if we start with the outer things, then most of us are in a race of collecting more and more devices or toys and money and wealth and whatnot. So I have iPhone 5, or I don't know, iPhone 6, and now they have put the another. Before I really know how to use this iPhone, I'm in a race for, because Rajini Bhai has already acquired that and Manish Bhai has, and I am left out. So that makes me run more competition and comparison, competition and comparison. And in trying to run into that, I really don't have time to enjoy. I don't have time to relax. I don't have time to sit back and enjoy. So holistic science says one thing: enjoy whatever is available and in front of you, and don't bother about the things not available at the moment. I can have normal thinking, normal efforts, normal and natural efforts, but no sooner I try to become above normal or below normal or unnatural about the things, it just takes away my happiness. Not only it takes away my happiness, it makes me unhappy. So this is one thing, that okay. And if I ask myself, do the devices really make me happy? Do the amount of money is really making me happy? Sometimes it is other way around. So what makes me happy or what makes me unhappy? So here is the another principle of the holistic inner science, that you have to have the holistic living, attend to all corners of life and living. If I'm running only after one corner of money and career and profession, I had some time back heard a wonderful story that there was a young gentleman, and in a young age he became so successful, having so many companies and CEOs and so much of money. But in the bargain, he had no time, so his wife left him. That okay, you be with your company and money, and I am leaving you because you don't have time for me. And there was another interesting story, a monk who sold his Ferrari. So people realize the truths hard way, that running after all these materialistic things, do they really make us happy? Is it the things which is making us happy, or it is my belief of looking at the things which is making me really happy? So all these are, rather at the moment, they have gone above normal. The science and technology is also good, but if I become above normal in using this technology, right now the classical example is my smartphone, my laptops, my electronic toys. I hardly have a time to talk to my family members one on one, but I am always texting. If they are upstairs, will text them, okay, come down for dinner. I can't go and, oh, hey, dinner is ready, will you come down? So we have become so mechanical and so gadget bound, that our chit, or our reflective consciousness, has just been boggled out. It's good, technology is good, but everything in normality, once we use judiciously. Even Einstein had said that I fear the day when the technology will surpass the human interactions. We will have a generation of idiots. And needless to say, the world knows that there are so many research studies which are coming out, that by overuse of all these things, our communication skills are going down, our interpersonal dealing skills are going down, we are becoming psychic and whatnot, apps, so many things. So I need not tell them, but this is one area, that anything above normal is not good, anything below normal is not good. Come to normal. Normal and natural living is the key to happiness, not the competition and comparison. Now the if we move to the third aspect of the story, even in the outer thing, everybody said, Vivekanand said, those who lives for others really live the life. Mahavir said, Yog Upyog Paropkarai. Bible said it is blessed to share rather than to have or consume for oneself. Now, what's the secret? Is it true or is it just a philosophy gone, philosophical words of the past? Do they stand true for the present time? So yes, I found yes because I realized that okay, to have all these things is always good. But if I'm only looking into within me and trying to find happiness, I'm never getting it because I'm in a race course, always in a race course, always in a stress that who will surpass me and where will my number be. All the horses run in the race course, only one gets number one, and he is also under tension that when others will surpass me. So that's my life. But when I realized that, okay, no sooner I try to see that, okay, can I help somebody? Can I, or even if I smile and greet somebody heartily, that brings me happiness. I haven't offered anything, but I have hearty smile. My heart is glad about greeting somebody, and that makes me happy. So whatever actions of my mind, speech, and body, which are going to help others, which are going to make others happy, do make me happy first. So this is where the science come into play. That really I am not obliging anybody else, but I am obliging myself first before obliging others. Before making others happy, I am becoming happy first, and before hurting others, I am also getting disturbed. So this is the secret or a key of the happiness at the level of the heart. Holistic science doesn't deny that you should not have money. Rajinibai was a very high positioned manager, so he can enjoy the legitimate money the company has given him. But at the same time, when the holistic principles are interwoven inside it, then it becomes the holistic picture that okay, enjoy everything, whatever is available and in front in normal and natural way. And at the same time, have the intent that how can my mind, speech, and body make others happy? How can my mind, speech, and body be instrumental in obliging others? And believe me, really, I'm not making others happy. I'm not obliging others. Really, I'm making happy myself first. I'm obliging myself first. So, in the present scenario, I believe that we all need to come to little normal limits. We have become above normal. I will give you another example that I met a young guy in Australia around age of 34, 35. He was working so hard all the night, working to deliver the goods and everything. And he had made up his mind that I'll work hard for 10 years. And he had given a big house and nice house to his wife and two children. And he had a belief that, okay, if I work hard and make everything free, my wife, children, and my life will be very happy. But then one day his wife complained in satsang, humor, of course, lovingly, that he doesn't have time for us. So then all the hard work, but for whom he was doing, they are unhappy. So we need to attend to all corners. We need to look at our wife or husband. We need to look at our family life. We need to look at our children. We need to look at our own personal living, our own inner living, because whatever you say happiness outside or inside, believe me, happiness doesn't come unless my inside, my heart, my inner relative inner self, mind, intellect, reflective consciousness or ego is involved, because the resources are not happiness. It is how I project to the resources my beliefs. So ultimately it is at the level of inside that always happiness or unhappiness is being experienced. And that's where the science says that know your inner self, discover the world within, whatever you want to achieve. Now at the same time, let us also explore what all makes me really unhappy or what's hindering my happiness. And if we look at several scenarios, I'm working, I have good pay package at the company and working nicely, but my boss doesn't behave the way I want him to behave with me. My colleagues don't have good remarks, and they are one of someone doesn't passes something too bad, two words which are not liked by me, all my happiness goes down the drain. So is my remote with me or my remote of life with somebody else? Always at home we try to keep remote with his, even husband wife lovingly fight, no, give me remote, wife says give me remote, children says give me remote, but where is the remote of my life? And another humorous question, for happiness, eh, does outside world matter more? Does everything, situations, belongings, devices, and things and positions in the outside world matter more, or my inside world matter more? And even the Western philosophers came out and said that what lies in front and what lies behind us are tiny matters as compared to what lie within us. So these are some basic but some interesting things. That what is all making me unhappy? If I list during the whole day, during the whole week, during the whole month, then I come across several situations that I have expectations from other people that Rajani Bhai should behave with me like this. He should have this sort of words. Now Rajani Bhai has his own flavor. I can't expect Rose to have the flavor of jasmine, and I can't expect jasmine to give me the fruit like a mango. Not realizing some simple truths, I'm expecting the people to have certain kinds of words and certain kind of behavior. Not having that, I become unhappy. I lose my happiness, and that's the very point I'm not real. I have very humorous examples. I'm invited to a beautiful marriage. Suppose Manish bhai, you have invited me at your daughter's marriage. Now you say, Dr. Saab, welcome Swamiji, everything is here, have a nice seat and enjoy yourself. And you have many other people to attend and you become busy. I become unhappy and suffocated that, okay, he is paying more attention to all other people and he's not attending or he's ignoring me and let me run away. Despite everything is there to enjoy, I became unhappy because of my own pride, because of my own ego, because of my own perception, wrong perception that why Manish Bhai is ignoring me, why Manish Bhai is not properly attending me. Similarly, in all walks of life, I need to find out what all is making me unhappy. I bought certain things. I searched everything, tried to find out the best discount available, and I got the thing, and I'm happily enjoying my car. And okay, I got 2.5% discount. After a week, Rajni bhai mine comes. Mine is a smart guy who finds out the best deals. Oh, Doctor Saab, how much discount you got? Oh, I got 2.5%. And but I got 5%. Oh my God, I'm in a loss of 2.5%. The car doesn't give me a happiness and I'm unhappy because I'm deprived of the 2.5% which Mahan was fortunate to get. So here my greed comes into play. So if I look inside, it's not the outside world which is making me unhappy. It is my inside world which is making me happy or unhappy. And on the side of unhappiness, I have my pride, I have my greed, I have my so-called beliefs, and I have my whole opinions. If I have a nice opinion about Rajni Bhai, no sooner Mahen Bhai talks of Rajni Bhai, I will become happy. But if I have some adverse opinion about Manish Bhai, no sooner Mahen talks of Manish Bhai, I'll become unhappy. Neither Rajni Bhai has done anything, neither Manish Bhai has done anything, but my own opinions are really making me unhappy. So holistic inner science tells you that know your world within, which are all the bugs. You say the viruses or bugs, right? In the software program, there are viruses or bugs.
Mhm.
And if there are viruses or bugs, no matter what you do, it doesn't work right. So in my life and living, which are the viruses or bugs of incorrect understanding or incorrect belief? So the wise holistic inner science says that have the correct understanding, find out which is the incorrect understanding in all walks of life, from daily living to your inner living and to the ultimate reach or inner living and real self. At all walks of life, at each stage, holistic inner science has tried to give the correct understanding as compared to what we all are living in today's life or living. So there can be many such examples. There is another humorous example of belief if I give you. However, beliefs also affect. It's the life is nothing but bundle of beliefs and psychological effects arising out of. If the things are according to my beliefs, I'll become very happy. If the things are not according to my belief, I will become very unhappy, sometimes mad at the thing. Suppose I'll give you one or two humorous examples. First time we landed in US in 94. Unfortunately, at that time, there were no Google Hangouts and no smartphones yet into work. So I was not knowing what's the life in US like. And no sooner we landed in US, and within 1 hour, we were taken to the interactive holistic inner science discourse. And the scene which my five senses saw, see, the things go through five senses inside, but how we react and how we perceive is there is inner filter of beliefs and visions or understanding. If in Instagram we can change this filter, everything will change. So I saw that even the elderly people were wearing the half pants or shorts, whatever you can say. So my first reaction was, oh my God, even in such holy events, they come with half pants. But then my inner correct understanding came to my rescue immediately. Oh man, that inner good understanding told the disturbing understanding. This is inside talk, myself to myself, my wise self to my unwise self. Are you here to look at outside, or are you here to look at inside and have the wisdom? And immediately the part of incorrect understanding went away, and I could resolve my own self. It is the situation, in the situations, if I cannot give resolving answer to my own real relatives, I'll become so unhappy. If I can give a convincing, resolving answer to my own inner self, I will immediately become happy. So my wise self told these unwise boy inside that here we are here to look at inside, we are here to look at inner treasure, we are here to look at inner virtues and pure self. So look at that. This is outside, it doesn't matter. And immediately I become happy. But then another event happened, that I was moving with this pajama and this simple Indian attire, which was given to us as a holy attire. And the people were looking at us as if we were crazy and smiling, including my very good friend, as good as my brother, Dr. At whose home I was. And I asked them, what's wrong? Did I do anything wrong? Okay, nobody in US moves with dress outside. It is uncivilian. It is night dress. So I said, oh, I understood. But at least I am fully clad, and nobody in India moves with half pants outside. At least not the ladies. So who is right and who is wrong? Nobody is right. Nobody is wrong. Both are right. It's a difference of beliefs. So once I become aware that what inside me is really hindering my happiness, I think the matter becomes simple. And then at the third stage, holistic inner science tries to tell us what should be our correct beliefs, what should be our correct projections, our correct intentions. And that my inner state of being, with correct understanding, correct intentions, and correct projections, or so to say, the better understanding, better projections, that makes my inside really happy or rich inner living despite the scarcity of resources outside. The holistic inner scientist A.M. Patel used only four pair of clothes. Even if he was offered, he didn't take even a fifth pair. He had hardly any time any rupee in the world. He moved across the world, and even the Oxford University people were surprised, and they had put the question that how come this simple man with fewest of the resources and fewest of the things and belongings is so happy, probably the most happiest person over the planet, and making thousands happy. That's where the rich inner living, based on a correct holistic inner science understanding, comes into picture. And he was a living exemplary. And we can see so many living examples all around, that with hardly any physical resources or material resources, they are so happy that they make thousands happy also. So this is, in nutshell, I just drew a broad picture, and we can expound onto that. I gave some simple things that in a modern life where we are running after belongings and in a race and competition and comparison and so-called plastic money or whatever, really I have no time to enjoy. I have no time to sit back and really enjoy. And I can't enjoy whatever is available with me while running for the carrot which is lying distant at me. And then we looked at that real crux is, decide to make others happy through your mind, speech, and body. Decide to oblige others, and you will become happy first. You will open the happiness shop, and at the same time, other features above normal is fever, below normal is fever. Normality is the essence of life. You need to look to all corners of life and living. Life should be holistic, overall, and balanced living. As I said, we have become imbalanced in a corner of profession, we have become imbalanced in a corner of using the technological tools. And then as I go inside within me, the focus comes onto my inner self, my understanding, my beliefs, my opinions, my anger, greed, pride, deceit, which are my inner enemies or inner weaknesses, so to say. And then ultimately I know what's the should be the correct aim, correct goal, correct understanding, which can lead me to reach inner happiness. and ultimately when I can aim to know the permanent or perpetual self and permanent happiness. In this world of fleeting or the temporary or a changing happiness, I can always aspire to have the independent, perpetual, or a permanent happiness by knowing what is independent, permanent, eternal, or perpetual within me, within the ever changing world. So now can move on to questions. I hope this is a broad guideline which we
Yeah,
can.
this was a nice overview of happiness. So I have a follow-up question on you mentioned that we should live in the present moment. So how do you balance that with planning for future? So how does that balance come into play in daily living?
Yeah, that's a very good question. That there is always a planning for future, or our mind and our intellect always tries to organize. In the morning, you try to organize how you will pass your day. In a day before or a week before, we have to organize that what are we going to do in the business or profession or work in a coming week or in a coming 6 months or in a coming year or whatever. Yes, that is. Somebody has to mute the mic. The echo is coming back. So that's correct. So my sorry, still there is echo, Manish. Yeah. So that's correct. See the I'm not going into the details of the functioning of our whole inner relative inner self. The whole human life is a unique science and unique ongoing experiment, and living as I am is an experimenter. We'll go into that detail at some later date. But okay, in normality, I have to think about the future and plan a little. But when it becomes abnormal, when I know when it has become abnormal, when my mind goes onto a churning mode, it goes onto a topsy-turvy mode, it goes into a so much of engrossment or involvement that there is a dish in front of me, my wife or my mother or my sister has prepared a nice dish, I am on a dining table, but my mind is in the office, my mind is in the project after 1 week. So that's the moment where I should stop that. No, this is becoming above normal. Anything in normal limits, okay, do have some spare some time, do some work and leave it. Because am I the independent doer? Am I going to control all the circumstances which are going to unfold the day, which are going to unfold in the week, which are going to unfold in the 6 months, which are going to unfold in the coming year? So I need to have a broad guideline or a broad roadmap, and that's all, and do the necessary things and leave rest of the things to nature. As a eye surgeon, I also prepare some things, I check, but I don't know moment to moment how my surgery is going to unfold. It is going to be different with different patient. So I need to tell my relative self that work, decide, work sincerely, have everything as per your best of understanding, care, caution, and leave rest to nature and see how the things unfold, right? Not knowing this principle, the people get worried, people get tense, people get so much of the things that rather than be able to do the good job, it becomes half of or more than half of the energy is lost into that. So anything in normality, I need to have normal thinking and normal planning. But then, even while thinking or planning, I am in a present moment, because who is thinking, who is planning is my mind, my intellect. So I just see that how the thinking is being done, how the planning is being done, and when I'm observing that as an observer, as the neutral person, I see that okay, are you doing it normally or you are becoming abnormal? If it goes in a normal tone, even while planning I'll be enjoying, even while thinking for future I'll be enjoying. Mind may go in future, but I can remain in present. This is the subtlest key I'm giving to you. It's not that I can prevent the mind to go into the past or to the future. Mind may go to the past, mind may go to the future, but I can remain in the present as myself, as being by myself, as being what is happening, to see what is happening to inside and what is happening outside. And then I know the secrets of nature, that after all the things happen by accumulation and dispersion of so many circumstantial evidences which come together or disperse in a scientific way. So it's the scientific circumstantial evidences, and the power is in the hands of nature, and I'm most important but an instrument. So this is the way. And no sooner, see, the bottom line is, as Rajani Bhai always says, what is the bottom line? Or you always say, my present moment happiness. No sooner I start losing my happiness, no sooner I start losing my inner or outer harmony, no sooner I start getting disturbed, I should become aware. Oh, something is going wrong. Please take legal U-turn. Please take legal U-turn. The outside GPS sweetly warns us. There should be some inside GPS and some inside warning wisdom noise that please become normal. Please turn back.
This is, yeah, this is wonderful. So we have our first question from the audience. Please go ahead.
Yeah, this is Rajnikant Patel from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I'm a retired professional and the author of children's book. Shailesh Aranji, thank you for giving us a broad outline of outer and inner. But I have some two scenarios, and I'd like you to dissect and bisect from the outer happiness versus the internal happiness. I come home from work tired, and I do some chores, talk with my wife, talk with my children, and then I sit down in front of the TV and relax. I think I'm relaxing by watching TV for my favorite show, and then happily or something I go to sleep. But and sometimes in the sleep I get some work problems anyway before going to sleep. That's one scenario. Second
Yeah,
scenario is I get my granddaughter's birthday coming up,
yeah.
and I do all the planning. And during the birthday, I'm very happy, and I'm saying, "See, I did this. I'm doing this." So these are two different scenarios I'm thinking about. Where is the what is outer? Where is the inner happiness? I'm confused.
No, okay, that's a very good point you brought out. In fact, in these two categories, I think you described most of the things of the life. That first scenario is working for the whole day till my machine of mind body speech allows me or gets exhausted, maximum overtime and maximum target meeting and whatever. So I have till the point I'm exhausted or drained down, or the company says go out now. There's no more job. So I worked hard all day and come home. And see, there is another beautiful sentence revealed by holistic scientists. Most of the happiness of the world, or the world believes, or we experience, is nothing but getting refreshment or rejuvenation from our fatigue. We have fatigued ourselves so much that now whatever the moments of letting go that fatigue off is my happiness. It's not really the happiness. I've run so hard in a hot summer, and now even a baboon tree feels, I feel happy sitting underneath the baboon tree. So I'm drained out whole day, stretched and mental jugglery. Then now I'm at home. So that's a relief from that fatigue, and not really the happiness. That's one aspect. And I am not able to sit with my own self without any outer gadgets. So I keep myself occupied to TV, and I keep myself occupied to serials. And even sometimes while looking at the TV and serials and taking the nice dinner, my inside, as you rightly said, maybe hovering around something, job problem, or somebody having told us something not good or not welcoming, and we are involved and engaged into those stories where I have not been able to reconciliate my inner self or give the resolving answer. So my mind is stuck over there, my intellect is complaining, and really I'm not enjoying. I am only trying to occupy myself, and if I can go to little extreme step, I'm rather trying to dump myself inside, making my inside little non-heard in the outer noise, because I'm afraid of hearing my inner voices and inner noises, I would say. Why Manish Bhai did to this to me? Why Mahen did not do my job properly? Every time I do his work, even going out of way, and when I requested him, he turned away and he didn't do my job. So many things of the day keep on coming inside us. So I not knowing how to give the convincing answer or how to find happiness, and not become unhappy into those things. I just keep myself occupied into TV, serial, and just go to bed. All everything mechanical, trying to keep myself engaged outside. So that's not really making me happy. And the simple testimonial is, while doing all these things, is my face always smiling? If somebody takes photograph, is my face tensed? Who is the CEO or a company employee who has a smiling face and yet doing the job nicely? The secret of the life is the things happen naturally, normally. If I remain there, just aware, just sincere, just applying myself within and without to the task, remain smiling, and still the job will be done best. So this is the testimonial that even while viewing the TV, I keep on giving thousands of opinions. So this fellow is like this, and future American president. If he becomes future American president, we are all doomed. And she becomes. My God, you are not enjoying TV. You are fighting with so many opinions, always positive, negative. So we are first and foremost, we are living life unaware. We are not living the life with awareness. And the secret of living in present is be aware. Live with mindfulness. You use the word mindfulness. We use the word awareness. So awareness coupled with correct understanding. Only awareness is also not enough. I'm aware, but where am I aware? I'm aware to find your faults. I'm aware to find your mistakes. That's also not correct. Seeing anybody's dark side, seeing anybody's mistake, seeing anybody's shortcoming makes me unhappy first, not. And reverse way, if I see your some virtue, if I appreciate for your good work, if I have gratitude for something, then it makes me happy. So the first scenario, Rajani bhai, which you narrated, I think is the story of most of the people in the world, of most of us. And it's a sort of mechanical life, living with unaware or not mindfulness, not correct understanding. We are just trying to keep ourselves bound to one or other thing, and the reflective consciousness, which is when it is bound to outer things, it doesn't really bring happiness. When it is aware in the present moment, when it is within ourselves, it will bring happiness. The second scenario you described, you have the upcoming birthday of your granddaughter, and even before you invite anybody, even before you spend a dollar, your face is smiling. Even your wife understands something good is there, he's smiling. He was never smiling for all these days, and today he's smiling. And the secret is not that you are doing, but this action. Now you, at the moment, you have decided only at the level of mind, but even at the level of mind, because it is going to make few children happy, you are becoming happy first. So whichever actions of mind, speech, and body which are going to make others happy, do make us happy first. Then the event will unfold later on. So first decision, first my projection, first my bhav of making someone happy in some or other way. Somebody is in a hospital and I may say, uncle, okay, I'm going that way. I can do you need anything? I can give and deliver at the hospital. Even I have not told you, but from the moment I decide, I'll become happy. So this is the secret, that the happiness at the world is trying to understand happiness at the level of mind and ego. That is why competition, that is why comparison, that is why I'm a bigger CEO, and that is why I have a bigger post, and all this running around is there. But it's not really giving us happiness. Happiness should be at the level of heart. And this is the second scenario, is one which is giving us happiness at the level of heart. And there is a humorous real life situation that one of my doctor friend's daughter, a physiotherapist from India, was married, is married and went to USA, your very country, country of plenty, I would say. And after 2 years, she made a very nice observation for 2 years, and she rang her mom, which she shared with me. Mom, here there is everything in plenty, more than required. Even I don't know how many shoes I have. I don't know how many clothes I have not worn. I don't know how many clothes I have not worn. But there is everything in plenty. So that's the point we should become aware. What's going wrong? That's the point we should become aware. What's going wrong? So this second scenario where I'm trying to help somebody, where I'm trying to offer someone happiness, even by a smiling face, even by a warm greeting, even by a hearty gesture, then it makes my heart full first. Let people love or not love me. If I have love for all the people, and love means without condition and without expectation, my heart will always remain full. So this is the difference and contrast between Eastern wisdom and Western tradition. In Western tradition, they try to live within themselves, self-centered or self within themselves, husband, wife, and sometimes even lonely, and move and have a big caravan and move across the world, and oh, I am the king of the world. But they feel lonely and they need a puppy to give the company. Whereas in here we feel that interconnected living is the key of happiness, because we are parasparanu jivanam. We are all living beings are interconnected, and that is where the principal lesson comes, that because I'm interconnected, because world is me only, there is no other in the world, my for my rich inner living, my first projection in the morning is, oh Lord, let my mind, speech and body make one and all happy. Let my mind, speech and body oblige others, and let my mind, speech and body not hurt any living being. This is the first step for my rich inner living. People have reactionary behavior. I am trying to be friendly with Rajni Bhai. He is not reciprocating. Leave him alone. Damn with his world. I have many other people and I have also my own world. The enlightened ones go one step ahead. Even if Rajni Bhai loves me or don't love me, even if Rajni Bhai reciprocates my friendship or other way, if my heart is full of friendship, my heart is full of love, it is me who is the first beneficiary, irrespective of what others are giving to me. So their behavior is not reactionary behavior, not a so-called traditional reciprocating behavior, but that's the behavior inside and outside at all levels, which is guided by the correct understanding light, guided by the correct truths of my human life experiment. And that's where my rich inner living is always there, which is independent of anybody doing anything to me, of all the resources, of all the situations. That's where the statement comes, that does my happiness and unhappiness, success and failure, fulfillment or no fulfillment, depends on outside or depends within me. And it is here that it depends solely on me and solely on me, by way of this correct understanding and correct fundamentals of human life experiment. So
Thank
you
you
have
very,
nicely brought out these two situations which goes to the basic fundamentals of the holistic inner science.
thank you very much. You really alluded that intent. That is
Yes.
very, very important for us, that the intent has to be the correct intent. Thank you very
But
much.
the intent evolves out of understanding.
Yes.
My intents are always the result of my understanding, and understanding results into change of opinions, it results into change of my inner convictions, it results into change of my inner intents. So that is why holistic science says that we don't ask you to forcibly change your behavior. Don't ask you, neither it is in your hand to change and struggle to change the outside situation. You can have normal and natural efforts, but change the world within, change your understanding, and everything will change, the inner world first and then the outer world. So we say it is a new vision, new world, new vision leading to new world within and the new world outside.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful, Swamiji. We have another question from the audience.
Sure.
Go ahead, Kitaben, you may have to unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself, Gitaben.
No, you are
Mainly, can
not
you?
heard. You have not unmuted yourself, Gitaben. Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Uh, Dr. Shaileshananji, this is Geeta from Houston. I'm retired field geologist and learning holistic science. My one of own question, like speech of other people and my speech affects me,
Yeah.
and I become unhappy. Now, during our conversation and interaction with the audience, I got many causes that why it happens, but I would like to know the real way of the happiness, the real tool. You explained the cause may be greed, pride, competition, opinion, beliefs, abnormality and imbalance. And I have gotten few points like a positive aspects, love, and interconnection. Can you show me the real way not to get affected, even my own speech and other people's speech? I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, you have brought us so wonderful and mysterious question, I would say. So difficult also, because all
No,
of us
no.
as the no, no, difficult for the in a world perspective. We are talking in the perspective of the whole world or the whole of the interested mankind. That all
Yes.
of us experience. That's what I was saying. That I have all the happiness and contented, but no sooner somebody talks something, two words which are not liked by me, and my fuses, all fuses are blown out. Whole circuitry gets deranged and disturbed within and without, and everything goes into bubbles, all happiness. So the word, very word is a world. There is one aphorism that word is a world. And there is another aphorism that word, word is like a weapon. Use it cautiously. So these, having said that, there is a science that no sooner somebody tells us something or we hear something, the word goes within and it starts affecting our inner world very fast even before we realize, good way or bad way. Somebody tells us two positive, loving, kind words and we become very optimistic and energized even though we are sick. Somebody giving us real inspiration and we start running even if we are sick, and somebody telling us to criticizing and condemning words and we fall from heaven to the hell. So that's our that's experience of all of us. So this science is worthwhile knowing and being explored. How, and there is no wire joint. I just wonder that there is without any wire, how come there is a shock of more than 440 volts? There is no wire between Geeta Ben and me, and yet I'm shocked. So that's very interesting aspect. First, let us understand the speech of others. How does it affect me, and positively or negatively? And before really going to dissect or expound onto that, let me bring in another important aspect that throughout the day and throughout the life and living, whatever is positive, outside and inside, ultimately perceived within us, does give us the positive energy, does make my aura body positive, does make my functional MRI picture positive, and it can also cure the diseases. The positive has the strength even to cure the existing diseases. And I'm not going into detail, but the normal cousin was the first person probably recorded maybe 2 centuries back, when he was told by the doctors that sorry, now nothing can be done for you, go home and do whatever you like. And he decided, okay, now I will heal myself. And with a positive attitude, he healed himself. Not only he healed himself, but he moved across the world to various medical conferences to demonstrate that, look, doctors, this is the power of positivity which can even cure the diseases. And on the other hand, whatever is negatively affecting us or whatever we are perceiving and allowing negativity will lead to dis and eases. So having said that, now I come to this again, your question proper, that somebody telling me some good words and somebody telling me some bad words, and it's always going to happen. So the things go inside and it starts affecting me. Here again, there is same story of the self which is getting disturbed and the wise self which is trying to reconciliate that disturbed self within me. There is always a talk of a good wisdom versus an incorrect understanding. And the good wisdom says, oh gentlemen, it is his belief, his perception, and he has told you. Now here, how to perceive it? So we perceive it negatively. His negative energy we absorb within ourselves, and our energy and mood and everything becomes negative. The enlightened ones look at it differently. They are thankful to the people. They say, okay, let me invite Manish Bhai for the tea because today he has given me two bad words and he has really obliged me. How come with bad words he has obliged me? Because that gives me the opportunity to introspect myself, to improve myself. And when I take that with understanding, with his laundry, his washing machine, and his detergent, he has cleaned up my ego. He has cleaned up, normalized my ego, and he has given his energy to me. So when I change my perspective and make it correct understanding, the people who are giving me challenges by saying criticizing words, by insulting, by condemning, they are really obliging me because they are really giving me opportunity to improve. They are washing my ego, making me a better person, making me a more mature person. And when I can take it with correct understanding, that negative energy which they have thrown to me or they have intended to throw to me becomes fully positive within me. So a positive vision is not a hypothetical, imaginary or illusionary thing. It's a correct understanding. No sooner I go on understanding my life, living as an experiment correctly, there is no thing in the world which can lead me to inner loss. Everything will turn to a positive or a profitable thing. The holistic inner science says that favorable is food and unfavorable is vitamin. And you in US definitely have lot many vitamins on yourself. So somebody telling us some challenging words is really a good vitamin for us, being taken it in proper perspective. Second thing, I'll ask myself, is he in command or control of speaking such words? He or
No.
she also may be regretting. It's a sort of vomit being coming out. And can we blame a patient who has a vomit coming out? At the most, we can say go to wash basin and vomit there. Don't vomit in the drawing room or a dining room. That's all. So the person who is speaking, and unhappy person will have a bitter words. Happy person will not have any time bitter words. He will have an inspiring, loving, kind, encouraging words. So in fact, I will have a empathy and whatever you can say, sort of compassion for that person that who is forced to speak the painful words or hurting words because within himself or herself he or she must be disturbed. Something must have disturbed him or her. That's why such words are coming. And he is a patient, and as a doctor I can't afford to become a patient like him. I have to remain a doctor and help him come back to his or her normalcy. So when I change my perspective, I am always the gainer. That I will look from different perspective, that let me help to regain his or her normalcy. Let me help that he or she becomes happy again, so that such words will not come out of him or her. And really, nobody is independent to throw out the words. It just comes out. Now, when we observe ourselves also, as you had the second part of the question, that how I can remain unaffected of my speech. And have you observed that no, even before I say, Manish bhai, you are not a good person, I am affected within, even before the word comes out. And even before I say, Rajni bhai, you are a good person, my face is smiling, even before I say it outside, there is a positive effect. So each word, there is inner speech and outer speech. Even before it comes out, it has inner echo, it has inner effect, it has inner reflection, which is affecting me. So again, the awareness and observation. I need to become observant within myself. I need to become aware what is going on within myself, and that will guide which type of words or which way the thing should be put. So far, I was directly criticizing, so far, I was directly condemning, not attending that it is hurting me also and it is hurting others also. Now I change my way. I do talk, I do attend that situation. We cannot ignore the situation or dealings. But now I change my way of dealing with the situation, that okay, let me put the things in such a perspective that it will not hurt me first and it will not hurt others. So let me have my speech which is not hurting to others, which is not a speech of rivalry or a biting speech. And the speech should be concise, it should be beneficial, To others, it should be loving, it should be loved by others, and it should be truthful. So, with this little change of my understanding inside, everything will change for me. And so, still, if out of force, even if I didn't want it, and something comes out of me, which is not liked by me, also, which is disturb me, hurt me, I understand two things. It's not in my total command or control because I didn't want it. I tried to stop it, but still it came out. So let me have a rectification or a cleansing action, and immediately I will clean it, because by chance, by mistake, if we have missed the exit and we go in wrong exit, there is always a legal U-turn to come back to the proper way. So holistic science always offers a very good way to forgive yourself and to forgive others. People say forgive yourself, but how they don't tell us, and how can I forgive myself when I have done something bad which is biting me? So here is the way that if I have some hurting words have come out for you, of me to you, which has hurt you, I will say that okay, I bow to pure self, which is free of mind, speech, body, name and name belonging, attachments of Gita man and all karmic bonds, and in very presence of your pure self, I confess within, I'm doing within my heart, I confess my mistake that I have these hurtful words or speech with you. I beg pardon and decide not to do it again. Please give me strength so that I can have a smooth, sober speech. So this is the way we can go, that we can remain unaffected. But unless that experiment is done correctly, there is no shortcut way. This is the easiest and shortest way. In fact, the correct science is the easiest and shortest way. All the other ways are longest, arduous, and non-correct and non-yielding ways. That even if I try, okay, it was necessary to be hard with Manish Bhai, and it was necessary to be strict with Rajni Bhai, but me biting. It will keep me affecting. So unless I come to the correct way and correct understanding, and even if it has gone wrong way, unless I cleanse it, I'll not come to free of my effects. And then when I am so much aware and enlightened, and I have cleaned my relative self so much, then I can remain knower and seer of the speech coming out of me. That's the ultimate state.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That was really heartfelt, accepted answer. Thank you.
So, Shailesh Anandji, I think we come to the end of this talk. Thank you everybody for participating. We just scratched the surface of such a vast topic, happiness, and you touched on several things. Having the correct vision, having correct understanding, how to forgive others, how to forgive ourselves, how to not confuse, as you pointed out when you were asked about somebody just relaxing, coming from a hectic day, and not confusing that with happiness. And you touched on several other aspects to have that obliging nature, to help others. By helping others, we are helping ourselves. So what we'll do come next time is probably delve in a bit deeper in different aspects that give us happiness, different visions that give us happiness. Our next topic, we'll continue with the happiness topic, but we will be hosting our next talk third week of September, which is September 18th, Sunday at 8 p.m. Central. Hopefully everybody can join us. If you have any last words, Swamiji, please go ahead.
Yeah, the thing which came to my mind as a research topic for the world and for all, the Mahavir was asked a question, who is the happy person or who is happiest in the world? And the answer came from him, one who doesn't have any craving or begging for anything more. And you research onto that. One who doesn't have any begging or any craving for anything more. And you research into that.
That is a hard one.
No, but it's a research. See, no, I don't say implement. Research.
Just
See,
research. Yeah.
the thing which has come from the height of the enlightenment has to have some universal truth. So
That's
what is
Right.
that universal truth? Implementation, holistic science never use the word implement. No, holistic science never asks anybody to implement. Holistic science just says research and understand. What's
Understood.
he means to say, why, how, when, what. And this is a research topic I hope. This which has just come out of me for us. Jai
this is a
Satchidananda.
this is a good one. This is a good one.
Uh, Good night, everyone. Yeah.
Jai- Jai-
See you next month.
Good. Goodbye. Goodbye.